Hello, it's Tom here, and this is the 10th chapter of Gunnerkrigg Court, Dr. Disaster versus the creepy space aliens from outer space, featuring the Gunnerkrigg spacemonauts. This chapter was intended to be just a fun diversion and a little look at some of the stuff that the kids get up to during the course of their school day. As I said in a previous video, I move away from dwelling too long on the students in their classrooms, because while they occasionally do something crazy and visually interesting for the reader, like in this page, the children unfortunately do have to go to normal classes and learn basic skills for their life, such as English and mathematics and other things like that. Most of the weird stuff at Gunnerkrigg tends to happen outside of school time, because these kids unfortunately do have to learn about things like erosion, or what a teapot is, or how to add basic numbers together. But anyway, here Dr. Disaster bursts into the room, claims that the Earth is in trouble, so the kids head off and get changed into their spacemonaut spacesuits. Kat explains that it's some big fancy setup with holograms and haptic feedback and all stuff like that. Originally I was going to have a reversal where, after Kat gives the technical explanation of how the imaging chamber and the suits work, eventually later on it was going to be revealed that Dr. Disaster was a powerful magic user and that everything that's going on is just down to magic. But that was kind of a laboured joke, so I kind of dropped that before writing the chapter. Another thing, you see the children have different coloured streaks in their hair once they've entered the imaging chamber. Here, Annie and Kat have corresponding colours. Annie has a black streak in her hair, and as you can see from the title page, Kat has a reddish-pink streak in her hair, like Annie. And originally this was going to be a permanent thing that I would have done with the characters in their real lives. They would have decided to dye parts of their hair at the same time, just as a mark of friendship. But that was something else that I decided against. But I at least used that for some visual interest in this chapter, as well as using textured backgrounds for the first time. I was just playing around here in this chapter, trying out a few things, and quite a lot later on in the comic, after having used textured backgrounds in very specific areas, it becomes a permanent texture that I add to the backgrounds. I really liked how it looked in this chapter. So here Annie's a stick in the mud, not really wanting to play around with her friends and go along with the sim. And Kat points out that yeah, it's stupid and over the top, but that's kind of the point, and they're just there to have fun, and if you don't allow yourself to have fun, then of course you're going to have a bad time. But then disaster strikes, and Kat is taken away. So Annie heads off to the evil castle and rescues her friends by swinging down and destroying the Enigmaron's death ray. Just to note, Winsbury here is already acting like less of a jerk than he has been in the past, and I think it was around this point where I kind of gave up the idea that he would solely be a bully to everybody, because I didn't think that was a very interesting character archetype. He is still an arrogant kid, and we see later on that he's hostile to people outside of his friend circle or outside of their class. But if someone does something cool, he's gonna give them credit for it. So they finish the sim, and Annie learns that sometimes it's okay to just let yourself have fun, and the Earth is safe. Until next time. And on this bonus page, Kat just likes the X-Files. And that's it, thanks for listening. Come back again for chapter 11, Dobranok Gamma.